Okay, today we're playing a game on VoD. We're in the Diamond SR range, and we will be playing D.Va the entire way through. And our current team composition is D.Va, Winston, Symmetra, Hanzo, Zenyatta, and Mercy. So if they have a Pharah, we will be very upset about that, and it's VoD. You know, we're defending VoD currently, so I would anticipate the attacking team to have a Pharah. We at least have D.Va and Zenyatta, and Winston can try, certainly, so there's that. But I will also point out that we have a quite static team in that Symmetra and Hanzo, and we have nothing that can really just sit in the choke point and hold the enemy team back, because our tanks are D.Va and Winston. So it could in fact be an issue. You might notice this game is very short, so might be, that's not the right button at all. Might be an issue, might not be an issue, we'll find out. So, they also have a Hanzo, because Diamond is also full of trash players, just so that you know. So we have backed way the fuck up. We've got Discord Orb on us right now, so we're waiting for that to fall off, and it has now fallen off. Our Hanzo has killed 2 of their team, and 1 of them was their main healer, so they're going to have a lot of trouble pushing in now. And they even have a Reinhardt, but still, he managed to find a way. So they have a Sombra, as we've just learned right now. That's more of Winston's department than it is ours, so we're more concerned with, like, the frontal area. But just D.Va walking into a Zenyatta is very scary, so we're understandably hesitant to do that. So what we're really doing is just kind of, like, sitting back, and then we're waiting for them to start making a move, and then we're engaging on them as they come in, because we can't sit in the choke point, right? Our team comp can't do that, so there's no point us trying. We'll just fail to stand up to the Reinhardt walking his way through. So it's better for us to just sit back and then engage when they try to push through instead. And we've killed their Reinhardt. Our Hanzo's just been killed by their Hanzo. Zarya has killed Winston. For some reason I thought Zarya was behind us. I don't know why I thought that. So we've lost 2 of our team. This is very bad. We do have a Symmetra. I would hope that a minute and a half in she's managed to put her teleporter down, but you know how bad people can be sometimes. So we've backed way the fuck out since we're low health, and we've... Fortunately, she hacks us right as we land up here. Han's dragons all across. Symmetra has in fact managed to build her teleporter. And now we can come back out and start fighting again. Don't really have to be afraid of just coming out to fight, because we have self-destruct. And basically, like, the attacking team has Hanzo and Sombra as their 2 DPS. So they're having a lot of trouble really keeping any momentum going. Also, like, really, if one of their tanks changed to Winston, they would fuck our team right up proper. So it's one of those cases where the enemy team is helping us out a little bit in this game so far. So again, we start sitting back here, just sort of poking at them. Winston's going in pretty overly eager, but he's gotten away with it, so if you don't get punished, you don't have to learn. And, honestly, excellent self-restraint that we have to not just go and start, like, so often people will just come and stand up here, and, like, the D.Va will just get fucking murdered because she's trying to stand in front of the choke point versus a Reinhardt, and she's got Discord on her, and she'll just get chewed through. But we are not doing that, which is the correct play, so excellent work. Now, unfortunately, we overstepped our boundaries a little bit there and got pinned by Reinhardt, but we managed to slip away. We are very low and have Discord Orb on us right now, so we should have backed out a little bit sooner. Reinhardt's coming at us, nano boosted, we back up. They haven't caught the first tick yet, so we can be a little bit more restrained. Really don't want to have to use self-destruct in this hallway. Try our best to get out, but unfortunately we end up going for it, but not actually getting anything. Unfortunately, Symmetra's teleporter got broken while this fight was happening as well. Sombra managed to get behind and break it. So the thing here is just that we go in on this Reinhardt. We shouldn't do that, like, because Reinhardt would love to fight us in there, and his whole team is here. So he's gonna kill us before we kill him. So, and also, we really don't want to put ourselves in a confined location when we're probably gonna end up using self-destruct in the near future. Because if we just are a little bit more self-restrained, stay out here, we can use self-destruct in a better way. Probably don't end up dying as a result of it. And we'd end up being able to stall out that fight longer for our team to get back. Because as you can see, our team does in fact get back, and we managed to in fact fend off this push and defend the point. So if we were, if we weren't overly greedy and went in on the Reinhardt in the hallway, we might have stopped them from getting the first tick, because we would have been able to stall it out for a lot longer if we didn't end up dying right there. And this is the thing when you get to Diamond, is that really we aren't making any shockingly terrible mistakes. It tends to be, we overreached very slightly, and that has ended up losing us the first tick of the checkpoint in all likelihood, which definitely can be the difference between winning and losing on Eichenwald. So, Mercy died. How did Mercy die, exactly? She's behind us right now? I'm not sure how Mercy died. She just got killed by Reinhardt. So we are now way further up. Now we're, like, we're making the more aggressive maneuver right now, but, unfortunately, we don't manage to kill these supports very cleanly. We get hacked, which makes it more difficult. Because we don't kill these supports very cleanly, they end up just sort of starting to be able to walk through. Now, Hanzo's died on the way through. We want to kill Zenyatta because we know he doesn't have Transcendence right now, so we'd very much like to kill him before he can build it up. And fortunately, their team comp is still quite bad, and they, as you can see, they definitely had the tools to win this team fight. They had Earthshatter, they had Graviton, that should be enough alone, really, right? And they started getting the forward momentum because they killed Mercy. They also got Transcendence out of our Zenyatta very early in that fight. He used it right around the time Mercy died. So if they had executed that fight a little bit better, they definitely would have captured that checkpoint. So it's definitely the enemy team giving us a lot of help in this game. That's okay. The enemy team is often the team that wins the game for you, because they have to make mistakes, don't they? Otherwise you wouldn't win. So they have a Symmetra as well. We have a Winston, so it's less of a concern to us. D.Va is also good at killing Symmetra, generally speaking, unless Symmetra manages to tether you and then just gets to chew straight through you with no resistance at all. So, their team is rather difficult to walk into. Here's their Sombra. Their Sombra's gone, right? They're gone now. So they have Sombra, Hanzo, Symmetra. So they've either only got one tank or they've only got one support right now. Either way, this is good news for us. We do, however, tragically now have a Doomfist. I know, it's very upsetting. Hanzo's used his ult. It has not accomplished very much of anything, but they don't have a Zarya to combo it with right now, I don't think, so it's... might as well try, I suppose. So, we as D.Va, what I like to do on Eichenwald as D.Va is I like to go over the house on the left-hand side, because you can just float over this building right next to us and get behind the checkpoint. And then you as D.Va, you get behind the enemy team, you're very annoying to actually remove, and it typically requires a concerted effort, which alleviates pressure on the checkpoint, the choke point rather, to try and help your team get through. And like, our team right now is not good at just, they have another DPS because they also have a Widowmaker. We don't really have a main tank, so, and they have, well, we have a main tank, we have two dive tanks, so we're not going to just kind of like muscling our way through. So if we can remove some of the presence from the choke point, it'll be a lot easier for us for our team to actually just initiate this dive through. Also, like, if you just go over the left-hand side, it's so annoying to remove D.Va when she does that. Like, you have to actually, like, it requires people's effort, and people don't like to do effort. Because you can get over the top, and then you can just get back here and play around this area, and just constantly be behind people, threatening them. and just like trying to capture the checkpoint now and then, like, oh, I'm back here, you've got to pay attention to me, or I'm gonna try and capture the checkpoint, or I'm gonna kill your backline. And D.Va is time-consuming to kill, right? And you've only got to remove presence from the choke point for a little while, and then your team can get through the front. They also have a Symmetra, so us being behind them as D.Va, we can break their turrets very easily, because they only have 1 hit point, so we can break them from really far away. And we can break the teleporter. We know where the teleporter is, so we definitely want that dead. Like, this years go over in this situation like suicide to get the TP, honestly. Like, this is a very difficult area for them to defend. Their Sombra is coming over, their team is coming over to try, but the way their team is, they would be hard-pressed to kill us before we break the teleporter. We die, but that's definitely worth it to remove the teleporter. Unfortunately, our team is also engaging at this exact point. Like, sacrifice yourself to kill a teleporter, by all means, it's definitely worth your life to remove the teleporter. Unfortunately, our team decided to initiate while we were sacrificing ourselves to kill the teleporter. So, it's not like we have very many big money ultimates to use right now, and they're just like, they tried anyway. So Reinhardt's getting very close to this edge. We were going to try and bump him off, but we got hacked. It's alright, because Doomfist knocked him off instead, excuse me. Now, we did lose Anna during this, but it's alright, our other healer is also Moira. Now, unfortunately, we did lose our mech in the middle of the dragon, which is a bad start. Or a bad start, that's not the start, it's bad. Is unfortunate to leave the confines of your mech while a dragon is going by, surprisingly enough. So unfortunately, we just, Moira's difficult to kill as someone like D.Va, so unfortunately we just don't kill her very well. Now, the way their team comp is, though, right, I would much rather we go looking for these people, because then it is a lot harder for them to win the fight, because they don't have, like, then they've got Sombra and Symmetra as their DPS. Like, it's not ideal for them, especially since our other tank is Winston. Granted, if we can kill Moira, that's their only healer dead, which is, of course, a death sentence for them, but Moira is annoying to kill, so I would honestly rather go after the DPS unless we are in, like, a really good situation to kill Moira. So Symmetra's coming at us with a fully charged beam, so we want to get the fuck out as soon as possible. We'd also, like, that fight was a wash anyway by that point, so we just want to reset and try on this next push. We don't have very long. We almost have self-destruct. Fortunately, we don't have to capture very much, so we only need, like, a little bit of momentum. Lucio has died at the absolute worst time possible. Don't even, like, peek the corner in this situation, because, like, the way their comp is, if you expose yourself for it, like, if you peek a corner, don't forget you're big, so you're easy to hit. You peek a corner, you take a big burst of damage, and, like, we don't have time to fuck around right now. Like, if you're gonna peek this corner, it should be because you're going in, right? Not because you're just peeking to try and poke. So, anyway, we're going in right now. We're trying to kill Symmetra. We have to go to the objective. Like, we don't really have time to try and do this. And, you know, that's a bad sign, obviously, that we can't just remove the Symmetra issue, but we need to come on over here and start on point. Now, unfortunately, we've lost half our team coming in immediately. We gotta touch the point. Like, we've lost, right? Unfortunately. So, the attacking round, like, this is the thing in the first round really comes up, right? Because if we had not died when we did, diving on Reinhardt, if we did indeed stall out that first tick, we would have drawn here instead of lost, right? Bare minimum, if that went well, which of course we'll never know if it would have gone that way, because it happened in a parallel dimension, but I think there was a pretty good chance we stopped the first tick from getting captured. Second, on attack, though, I think we could have been more proactive in trying to actually make something happen, because our team comp, like, we can't really... Pushing through the choke point versus a comp full of... They had 4 DPS, right? Like, trying to push through that at the choke point is difficult. There's a lot of damage coming through. And with Winston D.Va, we don't exactly have a lot of coverage coming through. So us getting behind them, floating over the side, and then just harassing them from the backside removes a lot of pressure from the choke point, because suddenly some of their DPS at the very least have to acknowledge us, which makes it a lot easier for Winston and the rest of the team to get through the choke point. Now also, you could also argue that if we changed to, like, Reinhardt, we could probably just walk through, right? Because their comp was 2 snipers. And Reinhardt can help, as long as you just hold the shield up and you got very good self-restraint, you can just walk towards the 2 snipers, and then rely on Winston killing the Symmetra turrets and harassing Sombra. But if we're sticking with D.Va, I think we should have gone over the house on the left and just tried to harass them from the backside to try and draw pressure away from the choke point, because just trying to push through 4 DPS is difficult when you have... This is the thing with a dive comp, right? The thing when you're going to take a lot of damage when you initially engage, and when they have, like, snipers... and then Sombra's fucking with people once you get in, and then Symmetra's in there as well. There's a lot of damage you can take. Sombra's fucking up your engage, and Symmetra's chewing through your backline. It's difficult. I think we could have been more proactive on the attacking round, basically. And defense... one mistake can easily end up costing you the game in, like, Diamond Plus, because people are making less egregious mistakes, and the mistakes that are made are typically punished. So, if we didn't overreach slightly, we could have probably saved the first tick and drawn bare minimum rather than losing outright. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.